Hi Chickadees, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leana. This is Bunny. Bunny, say hi. Bunny, 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 Bunny. Here we are today, and I'm so excited. Today we are talking about one of the most interesting minerals I've ever talked about, just in general, ever. It's freaking cool. So we're gonna get a little sciencey, we're gonna get a little spiritual. I'm gonna give you the good. Let me go ahead and give you a hint about what we're talking about today, okay? Shake it, shake, shake it, shake it, oh, shake it like a jar of Himalayan salt. And that's what I'm shaking. I'm feeling salty, baby. I think I got this at like, I don't even know, a store where you buy clothes. I'm like, why is there salt in here? Today is the perfect time to feel salty. Any other time, someone feeling salty, they have a problem. But today, feel salty, baby. Feel the salt. It's gonna bring you something different and new to the table. So there's tons of different kinds of salts. Himalayan salt and black Himalayan salt. I'll let you read that label. Not a sponsor, I'm just showing you kosher salt. Epsom salt, I'll let you see that. Well, the salt that you're usually most familiar with is what we generally call table salt. Table salt is just basically sodium chloride, okay? That's the general compounds for most salts that we consume on a day-to-day basis. Hold up, wait a minute. Table salt is usually just for flavoring, and the difference in table salt versus kosher salt is basically table salt has iodine in it. The FDA kind of snuck iodine in there to make sure that we're getting a kind of daily dose of iodine. We're talking about spiritual science, right? So where the two worlds collide, and it's all similar, it's all connected, it's all generally the same thing. Essentially, kosher salt is basically salt, but it's used to bless certain foods, right? It's used to cleanse, it's used to purify. So salt has like a lot of elements kind of playing with her, right? She fancy, she's sassy, she got it going on. Some benefits of consuming salt are that salt helps in the electrical signals that course through our body that tell our muscles to move, our brain to function properly. All of those little zippity zaps of electricity that run through our body, that is what salt is going to help regulate. It also regulates our blood sugar levels and our electrolyte levels, which we need. Now, there is the other side of salt that can become a problem. And that is that salt can be a little too salty. You get too much salt in your diet, and you can start to retain water, you get dehydrated, and it starts having really negative effects on your body, especially if you are prone to hypertension, aka high blood pressure. So watch the salt. You can take a little salt in, but maybe not a lot. I've done a lot of research on salt for this video. It seems to be across the board. Most people say you want to kind of ease up on the salt, because what happens is most people don't realize that a lot of products already have a high amount of salt in them. So when you're getting them from the grocery store and then you go home and you start cooking them, then you add more seasoning to them, not realizing that they've already been thoroughly seasoned. And some of them even overly seasoned. So just be careful with the salt content. Make sure you're checking what you're doing. The secondary kind of salt we're gonna talk about is Epsom salt. So Epsom salt is actually made from magnesium sulfate. So, boom, baby! We're soaking in the salt now. Taking baths are generally pretty good. They can be very relaxing, okay? They help relax the muscles. They help ease, if you're having digestive issues, they're gonna help ease your stomach. In that hot water, baby, pour some Epsom salt in there. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be feeling like paw the next day, okay? Salt is pretty cool. You put it in your bath. It helps with your digestion. It helps with flushing out your system of impurities. It helps with relaxing you before bedtime. If you're having muscle aches or any kind of pains like that, taking a salt bath can really, really help with those kinds of things. Just treat yourself. Sometimes you gotta treat yourself. Just treat yourself, okay? To a salt bath. Okay. Now we've talked about some of the chemical benefits. Let's talk about some of my favorite topics, the spiritual benefits of salt. Salt was used to not only season food, but it was used to preserve food, keeping it from rotting and going rancid. We used salt to keep our meats and other cured things nice and long lasting, clean and clear and under control. Not a sponsor. But that is kind of where the concept of using salt to purify things came about, right? So you can use salt to help purify a room. You can help purify yourself. You can purify others with salt. So one of the things you can do is, sometimes what I like to do, you can also use salt as a protector, because what it does is it cleanses out the negative energies, the negative vibes, the negative people. It's gonna neutralize all of that stuff, okay? So it doesn't necessarily make things super bright and shiny like some other natural minerals that occur there. It's going to neutralize the negative stuff, so then you can build positive energy on top of that. So what I mean by that is, like, for example, some things that people don't realize is that we all give off our own energy throughout the day, right? Some days you have a really great day and other days you're like, right? You know what I'm talking about. And when you're getting into these routines, especially like, let's say you wake up, go to work, come home, sit on the couch, watch TV, get up, maybe go work out, and then go to bed, right? Maybe let's just say that's your basic routine. And you do this routine like 5 days out of the week, maybe, let's say, just on average. What happens is, areas where people frequent often, routinely, they can get very stagnant, kind of, almost not even just musty, I mean like stagnant energy. And so you're constantly putting this energy, you're tired every time you get to the couch and you're like, so the energy gets kind of stale, almost like. And what salt is gonna do, salt, baby, she's gonna neutralize, she's gonna get all of that stagnant energy, she's gonna suck in all of that, the negative, and then what you're left with is sort of a clean slate to start over. So sometimes what I'll even do is, like, I'll literally take a handful of salt and I'll sprinkle it over the area where I notice that some people are arguing a lot. Like, I might notice, like, oh, I always get into an argument with somebody over the dinner table or over in the living room or in this part of the house, you know what I'm saying? And in those areas, what happens is all that negative energy, even if you're happy about, even if you love the person, it kind of stays, it kind of settles. Just like the scent of a person can settle into a place, the energy of a person can settle into a place. So it's important to cleanse that out every now and again and keep things fresh and new, keep it going. You know, you don't want to be constantly walking into that negative cloud of like badness. It's like walking into a fart cloud every time you go outside or something. That would suck, right? Take a little salt, let it sit for an hour or two, even overnight if you can. The longer the better, so it can absorb more and more negative energy, and then vacuum that up, clean it up, and there you go, fresh and new. Salting is actually a practice that's been going on for quite some time, a spiritual practice of cleansing and purifying, right? We purify our meats with it. We purify the earth, and you can purify your environment with salt as well, and yourself. So another way to purify yourself is to take like a salt bath, like we were talking about. And they feel so good and amazing, and the salt is gonna kind of help cleanse any residual negative energy that's maybe lingering on your body or in your person. Sometimes they'll put salt at the perimeter of their home to prevent negative people from crossing over or coming into the area, or just bad things from happening. Just as an added side of protection. So you can use salt for protection as much as you can use it for cleansing. It's really amazing. I love salt. It is beautiful. That is gonna be it, my loves, for salt today. Every Friday I'll be posting a new video. Make sure you like and subscribe. At the bottom, go ahead and slap them buttons so you can get more of my videos, more of my little tips, more salt. I'm just kidding. Don't get too much salt. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. Mwah. Mwah. There we go. The little tink tinks. The little tink tinkling of salt crystals on my glass bowl.